Like, how do you determine how do you make your videos?
There's a bit of a Venn diagram of like what I'm excited about and what I think people want to know. And then also the third circle in that would be like what I think will work. Because there's some stuff like I've had really bad luck with lighting videos for some reason. Like when I've done lighting videos, I think the information in there is good, and everybody says they want to learn lighting. They know how important lighting is, but then like a lot of people don't actually go and do the research and watch the lighting video. It's not like as cool or as sexy, you know, that kind of thing. So so there's like, there's a bit of a Venn diagram where like I need to be excited about it because there's an authenticity that has to come across through the camera. And so if it's a new product or something and the company sends it to me and I thought I was going to be excited about it, but in the end I'm not, generally I just won't make a video about it. Even if it might have performed well, if I can't be excited about it in some way, shape or form, whether that be excited to warn people how bad it is or excited to tell people how good it is. So that's a big part of it. And then, like I said, like if I think it'll work on the platform, like there are so many products, so many things to talk about. So if you can whittle it down to ones that you think will perform well, that's part of it. And then also like what I think people have questions on, like what's actually valuable to people. Those are kind of the three things that if I can find something that overlaps those three subjects, or those three kind of categories, then that's what I try and make all my videos on. Sometimes it has to lean towards one or two of those categories, but generally I try and find stuff that works all the way in the middle.
Yeah, and that's true. And yeah, I'm glad you brought up lighting because lighting was a big thing, especially like when I was trying to create like a studio. And a lot of people try to create studio. Like one of the biggest things that is researched on YouTube is people starting a YouTube channel and making a studio and lighting and you know, little things in the background and everything. But I know one of the things that I was researching was when it wasn't about softboxes and everything, because I know about that, but for some reason I could never find anything about if I'm using a softbox, should I single diffuse it? Should I double diffuse it? Should I use an egg crate? Should I do this? Like there was nothing out there about it. So I'm like, I was like, I don't know. Should I use a grid? Should I have it double diffuse and use a grid? Should it be really close? Should it be really far back? And like all these content creators, you know, who was in studio, like they don't really show. I think the only person I actually saw their actual setup was Farouk. I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about.
iPhone.
iPhone. Yeah, he was at Sony with us. But yeah, I think he was the only one who I actually saw like his studio tour like and everything.
Yeah.
But lighting, I was like, how do I need like a 38-inch, 48-inch? Do I need a single diffuse, double diffuse? Do I need a grid? What's going to give me the best nice light? Like I know what a grid does, you know, it focuses the light. I'm a photographer, but when I'm doing talking heads, like some people don't use grids, some people do use grids. Like
you know what's funny is I change my setup every time I sit down. So before, when I was setting up for this shot specifically, I took the grid off of my key light because I had been using a grid for the last couple of weeks. So I took the grid off. I added an extra sheet of diffusion, so now it's double diffused, which I've never done before. I've always only had single diffusion. I swapped out the before backup kind of behind me here. I had two really large soft boxes, and I swapped those out for two smaller soft boxes. So like I'm constantly changing and learning. I feel like lighting is one of the most difficult and subtle arts in and I mean that's what it's all about, right? Like obviously like as a portrait photographer and stuff, you know what those subtle changes. Actually the black dish is a perfect example of that. It's a subtle thing. It's still a parabolic softbox, but it's this subtle change of like the reflection material on the inside changes the light ever so slightly and just gives you a different look. And you could like one better, you could like the other, you could need both so that you can use them in different situations. But knowing all those subtle changes and stuff, I think takes people years and years, or like I don't know if people have great intuition on it or whatever, but I still find That's one of my favorite things to play around with,
Lighting.
and is a cool challenge, and one of the things that frustrates me the most as well, because you can almost never get it quite how you want it to be.
Hey, you made it. Now, want to join the Underexposed family? Become an official member right now by hitting that subscribe button, because you never know who I'm going to have on this show. Well, we talk about everything photography. So what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. I mean, where else you going to find a photography channel this exciting? So, let's go. You just never know. Might even be talking about you next time.